It's the Adrian Rivers Radio Show. Let's talk live. Let's talk. Let's talk live.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to the show. Still talking to Jackie Johnson. Again, thank you for being here with us. So, just want to, Reggie brought up a great point, kind of off segment. And it was, you guys were in the middle of this fight and, doing everything that you can because you're trying to bring justice. And then all of a sudden there were these countersuits or, defamation of your character. How did it feel to now you're being put on a pedestal for doing wrong when you're just trying to get justice for yourself?
Now, that was one of the most hurtful parts because it felt like that my family had to pay the killers for killing Kendrick. That's what it felt like. We were paying them for killing Kendrick.
And it happened twice, right?
Mm-hmm. Differently.
Happened like 2 or 3 times. I know. I'll never forget. I was the newspaper hit, and it was like Kendrick Johnson's family or parents has been hit with $100 million lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken, defamation or something like that. It was something to that extent on the front page, and in my mind, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" It was like a slap in the face to me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not even part of the family. I'm on the outside looking in. It was like a slap in the face that you would countersue in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And like she said, it's just like it was punishment.
Yeah.
It felt like punishment.
They really tried to do that because they thought that was going to silence us.
Right.
But you can't get what we don't got. But what we got.
Come on, Jackie. But you gotta say this, Jackie.
Yeah, you can't get what we don't got.
And it was extreme. Like, it was extreme. And I thought that was kind of ludicrous. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was. But, and so we progressed from that moment into this documentary does something that I did not expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does something that I did not expect. It starts giving information, giving new information. We talked in the previous segment about what it felt like for people to finally be given the truth from a different perspective, and it's told on a bigger platform. But what was it like seeing this investigator, his name? Yes.
Yeah.
What was it like seeing him shocked at the new evidence that was presented?
We were like, oh my God, these people are really cool. They'll hide something, but then put it back in there after they done been called off the investigation to make it look like they did something right. But the look on his face, that's how me and my husband was looking at each other like, oh my Lord, these people, what won't they do? Right. How far they won't go?
And I remember him saying, even he was in shock.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I am the law, and I should be privileged to all the information, and I wasn't even given this information. Seeing this new information, Lydia, what was it like for you when you saw like this new information?
It was shocking to me because like I knew about the documentary, but it just didn't hit me that this is what this was. But then when I looked at the movie, the documentary, when I looked at the documentary and I saw the evidence, I was just like, I ain't gonna lie, I was spewing out some Sunday school words. I was like, they will go through all this just to hurt my sister. And I mean, I didn't like it. And I wanted to stop watching it, but I had to see it through to the end.
Yeah.
But, just watching my sister and them go through what they went through and then to find this out, like, this is what they've been saying the entire time. Mm-hmm. My sister and them been saying this the entire time, and now we're seeing this. Mm-hmm. And I was just like,
So the covering up. This is a whole this whole segment is dedicated to that, right? the covering up. We're gonna call this segment the covering up. From that, and then I remember hearing about when you guys resumed. You resumed his body how many times? Twice. And the first time you were in shock. Tell people who haven't watched or who haven't followed your story. Tell them why you were shocked.
To exhume his body, it just you just can't even imagine burying your child one time, but to dig him up and to have to bury your child 3 times, it's just like I just had 3 different funerals with the same child.
Yeah, and to find that the organs weren't there.
Yeah, no organs. When they did his exhumation, and we took him to the pathologist, he had no organs. His brain, his tongue, his windpipe, his throat, his heart, his lungs, his kidneys, every internal organ was missing from his brain to his pelvic. Wow. Then his body was stuffed with newspaper.
Yeah. I think I paused it there. Because I had to pause it. Like I had to stop for a second and just take all of that in. The fact that when he had no organs, then you knew that the pathologist was going to need that to kind of prove. Did it at first, did it feel kind of like, oh my God, was there a moment of no hope or a moment of, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. They've even taken his organs out.
It just felt like they gave us a half a child back. They didn't give my whole son back. But to give up hope, there's no way in the world I would give up hope about finding out what happened. Well, for the world to find out, because we already know what happened to my child. Because my child was a 17-year-old, fine, strong, little black young king. My child, and there's no way he'd have went and fell into no mat. No way. My son would have got all them mats out that corner, throwed all those mats out,
right.
got his tennis shoes and went on to class. Ain't no trying to go on top and get no mat, no shoes you can't even fit into a mat to get. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
They tell you stuff that make you think you dumb, and most people just run with it.
Right.
No, how does that make sense?
Yeah. And first of all, I just wanna stop and acknowledge the moment where you're saying it felt like we got half a son back. I don't think I even
thought about that.
I didn't even think about that perspective of getting half of my son back. Taking organs was not just about, this is what I hear you saying, taking organs were not just about you trying to cover up something, but you also took a part of my son. Wow. So they in the documentary talk a lot about how start proving what you just said. The height of Kendrick, the height of the mat. And as you just said, that's absurd. And then the tennis shoes, and where the tennis shoes were and how they were in the mat, and just all these different things that were wrong with this particular case. Was there any other moments that that were powerful moments to you about the documentary?
The main thing was to let the people hear the 911 call. That's something that really triggered. You can hear. My daughter was talking about it last night. She said, "Mama, I can hear the pain all in your voice." Like those hours that my son was missing was like harder than hearing the lady say that was him in the gym, because him missing all night long. When I know in my heart I knew Kendrick was dead, because my kids know I didn't play about them coming home. You supposed to be in the house at 10 o'clock at night. My kids didn't come in at 10:01. They was there at 9:59, because they know if I had to come out that door to come find them, I was that mama.
Right. We know.
So for him not to come in, and then it got like 11 o'clock, then 12 o'clock, and I would look out the door, and it was this big old white thing over the path that used to come in. And it was like God was already letting me know that he had already took my child. Well, took his child back home. and it was just like this glow. And every time I looked at the door, the glow was getting bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. So in my mind, I'm saying, Lord, I'm gonna trust you for a miracle this time. So I got up and went to the school the next day, and the people, when I tell you, they don't have no sympathy about it. And then he was like, well, we already went to the class and we already checked to see what's Kendrick in class. He didn't come to school, so you can go on back home. We'll give you a call. So I just look at you like, go back home. The last time my child was alive, last time I seen my child, he was at this school, so why would I leave him? I'm not going away from here until I find out something about my child. So I went on to talk to the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was my question. I want to know, like, what is your relationship when it comes to the Lowndes County school system? Like, I always wanted to know, because when it was happening, I was like, it seemed like they're so just like heartless, or just no sorry.
Nothing.
And I said a lot of this could have been, it could have eased your pain in a sense if the superintendent or if the principal came out and talked to you and said, I understand.
Yep. We're trying.
We never heard anything. We never heard that over the airways. Like, I never heard you didn't see them at all.
They didn't care. The same day they were just like trying to get us all off the campus when this happened. The people were just running in, just looking, studying, saying something, and it's just like they just wanted this to go away right then and there, and nothing else be said about it.
So do you think they knew from the very beginning that it was foul play?
Yeah, they knew
from day one.
From day one, because it's this one officer that's sitting there and watched that control room. That's why so much footage was missing. He seen the exact everything that happened. He saw it for himself with his own eyes, because he sit in that control room day in and day out. Just before the Christmas break, a fight had happened in that same corner where Kendrick got killed. That they called the kid's parent up there to come and watch that kid in that corner. Like, you just can't have something just going on and then make your own stuff up when it comes to you. Like, this is what they have done the whole entire time.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to talk about, you made a statement a couple segments ago about standing alone. And we want to, what that felt like to kind of be standing alone, and what we hope the momentum that is going to be built through this documentary, what we're hoping that's going to do for about us.